Hey y'all, it's your girl Damo, and today we're going to be doing this lovely orange monochromatic look for the springtime, summertime, because it's getting nice outside and we can't be doing neutrals all the time. So I wanted to do this bright look because, you know, why not? If you want to learn how to do this look, just stay tuned. Okay y'all, so my brows, the bottom part of my brows are finished. So as usual, I am going to go in with my P. Louise a room or two base. I use that as a base for all my eye looks. And of course, if you don't have the P. Louise base, you can just get a concealer that's really light. And I use the Bdellium, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but the Bdellium 788 BDHD Phase 3 brush. And I blend it out. Now I'll go in with the Juvia's Plays, the Saharan. I'm going to use the shade Jamila. It's like an orange color. And I will put that in the upper part of my eye and bring it down a little bit in my crease area. And of course, with these shadows, sometimes you have to go back in a few times. I'm not ashamed to go back. At first I was. I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought like you determine how good an eyeshadow palette is by how many times you have to dip back in. So the least amount of times you have to dip back in, the better it is, because it has more pigment. But I find that to not necessarily be true, or maybe it's just me. But yeah, sometimes you got to go back in a few times. And I make sure I pat as much eyeshadow as I can to make it look nice and bright. So for the rest of my eye, I'm going to be using
Damn.
I'm going to be using the orange pigment from MYOM. I'll post all the products in the description box. So I'm going to use the orange shade as my lid color for that monochromatic popping orange eye. And what I'm going to do is put the P. Louise base. I'm going to put it on my lid. Just pat it so we have a nice you know, smooth base. And I'll have somewhere for the orange to stick onto, because these pigments to me are very hard to play with, at least in my opinion. When I first got it, I was like, what is going on here? Like this, it was not cute. And even every now and then I still like have to like kind of play around with it, but for the most part, like you really just have to have a sticky like eye base. It doesn't go on like regular eyeshadow, and I feel like that's kind of what people tend to forget, because I forgot. So you want it to be nice and moist before you put your shadows on. So I'm gonna use the orange, and I think what I'll do is use, I feel like I should use a fluffy brush, but then again, I don't know. I'll use a fluffy brush and pat on. I tend to like patting on fluffy with fluffy brushes because I feel like they distribute a little more evenly compared to if you were to like use a what is it, like a regular flat shadow brush. And you always want to make sure that your base is like smooth, because being that these are pigments, you can tell when your base is looking a little splotchy. Like low-key, I feel mine look a little splotchy, but I think I'm gonna like the right eye better. I feel like every time I do makeup, there's always an eye that I enjoy better, and a lot of times it is my right eye. So as you can see, the pigment is like really getting everywhere. Like it's even getting in my hair. It kind of annoys me, but it is what it is. Luckily I'm going to get my hair done, so it won't be too bad. So this look is real bright. This is one of them, I think, UV color things. So we just patting on. Yeah, it got everywhere. It got in my hair. Got in my hair. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go back. Before I wipe everything off, I want to make sure that I'm completely finishing my eye, because it just doesn't make any sense to clean it off, go back on my eye, clean it off, like counterproductive. All right, so I'm gonna take the same blending brush that I used before. I'm gonna go in with the same Juvia, and I'm gonna add the other shade called Sokoto, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I'm just gonna blend things out. Okay. When it comes to the monochromatic looks, you want to make sure your things are blended out completely. And with whatever excess I have on this brush, I'll just go up a little bit. Because a lot of times when you do smoky eyes, you don't want it to just sit on your eye area. You want it to go a little bit above your crease. Just makes the look a little, the transition look a little better. Okay. So blend it. You seem pretty decent. Okay. This is kind of cute. When it comes to these types of looks, as much as I don't like it, I prefer to do winged liner. I don't like doing winged liner, and if I could, I would avoid it. But sometimes I think that these monochromatic looks, they look a little more popping, you know? So I'm going to use my NYX Epic Ink Liner. I'll see if I could do one on camera. Probably won't be able to see because the way my concentration is set up, and these eyeliners, a lot of times I just don't record it. So I was able to do an eye online, and it wasn't as bad as it usually is. But we only gonna stick to one eye. And I will come back with the other eye done, because I already know this is gonna be an issue. For my foundation and concealer, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade 53N or Deep. And I do the same underpainting. I do concealer first all the time. Then I just blend it out with my Real Techniques brush. And for my foundation, I'm using Nars. I really do like this Nars, the Natural Radiance, but for some reason I just feel like I cannot find my perfect shade. Like I'm usually in between the last three. So what I'll do is mix them. I'm mixing the shades Mali and Iguacu. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But I usually just mix those shades together. I do wish they had like a few in between shades, but it's cool. I do like this. I enjoy this. I have the dewy one, which isn't bad either, but I feel like the shade range in that one is lacking. So I just do this and I mix it. I don't care. I really don't care to mix foundations, but Nars is an exception. And I like to use my little paintbrush, MAC brush, and apply the foundation before I blend it in. And I feel like I'm able to, like, it goes on a little more even because I have more control versus where, like, if I just put it on the brush and that's too much. I used to do that and I didn't like it. But once you spread it on first and then pat it in with your brush, everything just goes on smoother. The application is so much better. Now this is where, like, I just like to go back for that extra pop. Now, like I said before, I like to do concealer first and then my foundation, but I've started to just add like a dot of concealer after, because I mean, you know, it still gives it that extra pop, just a little bit, nothing crazy, and I blend it out and I'm usually good. Now if you were to do this, just put this much concealer after foundation and that's it, you looking crazy. Like, but this is it, like, literally. And because you're doing concealer underneath the foundation, you could really go as light as you want. Like, well, I wouldn't say as light as you want, but you could go lighter than if you were to put the concealer above. Then you blend it out. To set my foundation, I'm going to use the same thing that I used before, which is the Ben Nye luxury powder, and this is in the shade Beige Suede. Works amazing for a great price. Now that I'm all set, we're going to go in with the Fenty Cream bronzer. This is in the last shade, Toffee Tease. So I use this first and then I'm gonna go in with the powder bronzer. We'll see how it looks. Of course, because it's a cream and you're putting it on top of powder, it's gonna look glossy, so I'm gonna have to go over it regardless. Like, I really wouldn't just leave it there, because that's just a recipe for, like, grease on your face. Okay, so it is it shows. It shows, but it's nothing like crazy. So if you're like scared to work with contours, this will probably be good. Or maybe it just needs to be darker to show up on my skin tone. But that's like, whatever. But it does go on pretty lightly on me. So if I'm not really in the mood, which I really haven't been in the mood for like a heavy contour, I usually do, I use this and I'll go over with the Fenty powder bronzer, or I'll use the Morphe one, and it's really, that one is really dark. That one is really good. a good price, and it goes on really dark. And then I'll go over it with a bronzer to warm it out. So I don't really know if it's showing or not. It looks like it is. Like it's giving a nice little contour or whatever. Probably gonna have to put like some powder there or something so it could show. I don't know, is it showing? I don't know. It looks like it's showing, but on camera, I don't really think it's showing. And now I'm gonna go in with the bronzer. Because this is, you know, even though it's like not that dark, I feel like it's still, you can still kind of tell when I have the bronzer on. Okay. And it gives a nice little, you know, a nice little warmth. This is a warm look though. The orange with some dark skin, feel me? Now for lashes, I'm using, listen, when I said I use my lashes all the time, I wasn't playing. I use them all the time. So this lash is the lash Nefertiti that I will be using. I will post a link to my website in the description box so you can purchase some more lashes. And because these lashes are really popping. Like, I'm not saying that just because I'm really a lash fiend. So I'm only going to wear what I enjoy, as I always say. No capping over here. And these lashes are reusable because me, I don't clean the like the strip, which is kind of a bad habit. But these things still be intact. I be putting them on, take them off, and I can't tell you how much times I use this yet. Like probably more than 10 times. Not probably, more than 10 times. And I just let it dry so it could get a little tacky. And I think that's where some people get messed up at. I'll probably make like an in-depth video of lashes, how to apply lashes. But it's really all about, like, once you have the fit on your eye and you have like some tweezers or something, you'll be okay. Because it really just takes some patience. Because even now, sometimes I have to apply a second time. Like, it wouldn't go on the way I wanted to, and I have to try again. But after the third time, I'll get it right. Before I apply my lipstick, I like to spray. So I have my Morphe setting spray. I have this one. I have the white one. I have the dewy one. I mean, I just reach for whichever one is the closest, and the one that's the closest is the one in the black can. And just spray. This really, it smells so good. And a lot of times, I would just pat it in. Okay. For lips, I really tend to just use the same nudes. Like, there's really no variety when it comes to my lips. Like, it's always most likely going to be a nude. Unless, like, it's a red lip or something. But I decided to, like, go reach for something else because, you know, just trying to be different. But I use the same NYX espresso liner. And I'll line my lips with that. And I am using Dose of Colors Butterscotch Satin Lipstick. And I'm just going to apply that. This is matte. I didn't put on my little chapstick, my lip scrubs. So my lips are kind of dry. for my lip moisturizer. And of course, we can't just leave it like this. I do like to go over with some more brown. Before I apply my gloss. And for my gloss today, I'll probably just use the same Pat McGrath. This is in Love Potion. And apply it on. I can't tell you, I have, like, I really do have a lot of lip glosses, and it's the same thing with lip gloss. Like, I really will just choose whatever is closest to me. And then I will just go back with my brown liner. Just a line. And boom. I hope that you like this, and I hope that you've enjoyed this, because it's getting nice outside. Like, it's time for them popping colors. Of course, you could wear the popping colors during the winter time, but when it's nice outside, it's nice and bright, and the sun is shining on your face. These orange and yellow looks, especially on dark-skinned melanin specialists like myself, I just love it. I love to see it. I love to see it on other people. Like, bright colors just look amazing, especially on dark-skinned people. Like, so thank you for watching. I hope that you join me next week. I upload videos every Saturday. Click that subscribe button below, and we finna tune back in next week. Later.